Thank you for staying tuned. The world news at 6 begins with a passenger train traveling from Abuja. Carriages overturned and triggering panic among those on board. VOP News gathered that the incident occurred along the popular corridor. Shortly after the train departed Abuja around 11 a.m. en route to Kaduna has caused the passengers fleeing for safety, with many describing the scene as chaotic and frightening. An eyewitness stated that the derailment happened without warning, triggering confusion as passengers rushed out of the derailed cabins. Managing Director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, Kayode Okpeifa, confirmed the incident to journalists, saying that the rescue operation is ongoing at the scene of the incident. Although the exact cause of the derailment remains unclear, no casualties have been officially reported. You recall that the Kaduna-Abuja rail line is one of Nigeria's most active rail corridors, used daily by hundreds of commuters. The rail route has faced repeated disruptions over the years, including the March 2022. The governor's notification was contained in a letter to the House of Assembly, which was read by Speaker Adebo Ogundoyin during Tuesday's plenary. In the letter, Governor Makinde formally requested approval for his leave and handed over responsibilities to the deputy governor throughout the vacation period. According to Ogundoyin, the governor's action is in line with Section 190, subsection 1 of the Constitution, which requires the state governor to notify the House in writing before proceeding on leave. Speaker Adebo Ogundoyin reaffirmed the House's commitment to upholding constitutional order and ensuring seamless governance in the state. With Governor Makinde's formal notification and the Assembly's endorsement, Deputy Governor Bayo Lawal will assume full responsibilities of the office as acting governor from August 29 until Makinde's return on September 29.
Meanwhile, the University of Nigeria and Nsukka branch of the Academic Staff Union of Universities has declared its readiness to join a nationwide indefinite strike if the federal government fails to address the union's demands. Oyiboeze, chairman of RCUNN, made the statement on Tuesday while briefing correspondents in Nsukka following the union's congress and a subsequent protest rally by members. Eze warned that the government would bear responsibility for any nationwide strike, noting that its continued failure to implement agreements reached with RCUNN since 2009 shows that education is not a priority. They went further to disclose that the protest rally, organized in line with directives from ASU's national leadership, is aimed to appeal to the government to honor its commitment. Ezra explained the members had expressed their willingness to participate in any nationwide strike ordered by the union if their demands remain unmet. The ASU National Executive Council is scheduled to meet on September. Security martyrs, trips of operation residents, security forces engaged the attackers in a gun duel, forcing them to abandon their children and flee to Nalma Forest. The victims were identified as apt to apprehend the fleeing suspects. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has disclosed that no fewer than 360,794 permanent voter cards (PVCs) remain uncollected in Osun State. The resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, made the disclosure through the Commission's public relations officer, Musa Olurode, in a statement on Tuesday in Osogbo. Agboke described the figure as troubling and urged eligible voters to take advantage of the ongoing continuous voter registration, that is CVR, exercise to collect their cards. The Commission reminded residents that while fresh registration is ongoing, multiple registration is indeed prohibited and warned that offenders risk invalidation of their data. INEC thereby explained that the unclaimed PVCs represent thousands of voices excluded from the democratic process, stressing that political parties, civil society organizations show as registration, adding that citizens cannot participate in elections without the cards. In a very recent development, Abdullahi Bashir Haske, a businessman and son-in-law to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has dismissed allegations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission that he is evading arrest after being declared wanted for Haske wanted over alleged criminal conspiracy, money laundering linked to contracts, funds traced to multiple accounts allegedly tied to Haske form part of its ongoing investigation. In a statement issued through his media office, Haske described the EFCC's action as politically motivated and a deliberate attempt to malign his name. He maintained that he had already honored the EFCC's invitation, appeared before investigators, presented both oral and documentary evidence to prove the legitimacy of his financial dealings. Haske further accused the EFCC of misconduct, alleging that he was denied administrative bail despite meeting bail conditions. According to him, his release only came after concerns over his survival due to his worsening medical condition. However, he is currently receiving medical treatment.
His constituency. The disclosures did not go down well with his errors when compared to the genuine products. These include a PIN verification sticker printed in a smaller font and spelling mistake showing verify instead of verify. The counterfeit packs also misspelled distributed in Nigeria. The agency warned that the falsified product may contain harmful or substandard ingredient, incorrect dosages of levonorgestrel, or contaminants from unsafe manufacturing processes.
Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just on Monday declared that there is no more corruption in Nigeria. Lula da Silva, where both countries signed 5 memoranda of understanding to strengthen bilateral relations. However, some Nigerians say that is absolutely not.
Nigeria, and that is the worst kind of embarrassment. And I was thinking that this man would be thinking of prevention. Where is he going with all this lies? He has forgotten that Brazil has an empty Nigeria, and they are aware of what is going on here. It's unfortunate, seriously, very, very unfortunate. Is he not aware that we are looking for 210 trillion naira in a ministry where the minister? Is he not aware? But can you lie with such a thing? I mean, things are things that are in international point of view. International point of view. Why are you that of NFPC? Because Tinubu is the Minister of Petroleum. Under his word, we are looking for such an amount of money. Is that not enough indictment? Under his watch, we are looking for that kind of money in Nigeria. As of today, nobody is giving us answers. So, nobody, after lying, you come back and meet the corruption that is at home. Are you telling me that if you cannot write off or wish away, it's not possible? It's corruption go back and meet it. Because he told us he will not prove anybody. And with this kind of statement, all his officials have been given a blank check. They have not seen it to corruption and say it is another disease in Nigeria. So why is Tinubu not telling the truth? If you want to give us a good name of a good image, why is he not saying the whole truth? Does you think that he can deceive the whole world? You cannot. They will buy everybody that is able to give them a good image. But after propaganda, the fact is waiting for him at home. The fact is still here that this has not looking up. So there are things you cannot wish they would propaganda. It's not possible. More another America or even the UK will give us a good image that in fact Nigerians are now happiest people on earth. That's a fact. We are looking for who to give money. Nigerians are so happy, price we are not.
Alright, brothers and talented, let's move on to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. They're raising concerns very recently about 360,000 uncollected PVCs in Osun State. That's not the only thing. There are speculations that the INEC chair, if pushed to talk or if possible, is going to be supposedly investigated. If he intends to go down, the others will go down too. He will not be the only person to go down, and maybe that is why a couple of issues that have to do with electoral malpractice that was envisioned or experienced, specifically the lead is still intact about that. Is it possible that there is a huge political risk to a couple of things
that are not be collected? Many of them have died. Some are relocated. Some are no longer interested in elections in Nigeria. These are issues. So it's not enough to say that why would they abandon it? The people that voted, did their vote to count? Did it count? You think every Nigeria has the stomach to come and be laboring themselves when they know that their effort will be in vain? That is what is making people to be disgruntled now. That is the only reason. If why wouldn't they collect their PVC? They simply left it to INEC chairman to vote on their behalf when election comes. That's just the truth now. Because their vote does not count. That's the major reason. Their vote does not count. So INEC chairman can import the PVCs and vote for them. Vote it whichever he likes. Vote for APC on their behalf. That is the statement they are making for him.
Barrister Darlington, the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde recently disclosed that he would undermine faith in the central bank. If investors start to doubt the Fed's credibility, borrowing costs for the U.S. government could rise, and that would have knock-in effects around the world since they are used to set the price of assets around the world. And now let's head on to the capital city with our correspondent right there with VOP 96.1 FM, where we have Oluwadarasimi Joshua giving us an update there.
Good evening. Here are the major news in the nation's capital on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. I am Oluwadarasimi Joshua. An Abuja-Kaduna passenger train derailed on Tuesday close to Jere Station, leaving hundreds of passengers stranded. No casualties were reported. In a video circulating online, passengers could be seen disembarking as onlookers remarked that the train is full and they are coming out. The derailment comes just days after the Nigerian Railway Corporation confirmed that one of the Abuja-Kaduna coaches developed a hot axle near Rigasa Station in Kaduna on August 20th. That incident was linked to abnormal heat and wheel friction. NRC spokesperson Kalistus Unyimadu said the earlier situation was quickly brought under control and the Kaduna train was safely marshaled back to Kaduna. Authorities are yet to issue a detailed statement on Tuesday's derailment. The Academic Staff Union of University ASU Abuja Zone has warned of a possible strike if the federal government fails to honor the 2009 agreement and release withheld salaries owed to its members. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, Zonal Coordinator Al-Amin Abdullahi said lecturers are demanding the payment of 3.5 months withheld salaries, promotion arrears, and third-party deduction to union and cooperatives. He also called for the payment of a one-year salary award arrears, implementation of new conditions of service, and the adoption of UTAS as official payment platform for universities. Abdullahi stressed that the ongoing neglect of education threatens Nigeria's future, warning that no nation can advance beyond the standard of its university system. He added that ASU would not relent in its struggle until the government commits to building a university system that guarantees effective teaching, research, and innovation. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has demolished more than 1,000